We are living on a soil that is rich in minerals, and humankind has developed techniques to recover these minerals from the earth. These techniques are becoming more and more advanced. Whilst drinking water sources can be found at a depth of 30 to 300 meters, oil and gas are to be found much deeper, at between 2 to 5 kilometers. We are now not only able to perform vertical drilling, but also drilling at an angle and even horizontal drilling. This horizontal drilling enables us to drill for multiple sources whilst using only one borehole. Into the drill pipe that is encased with cement and steel, we implement the so-called perforating gun. This gun shoots holes throughout the pipe, causing fractures in the rocks. Then, a mixture of sand and water is pumped through the pipe under high pressure. This pressure causes fractures in the rocks. The sand grains ensure that the fractures also stay open. This technique is called hydraulic stimulation and has been applied since the 1950s. Because of the enormous depth, it is impossible to see how these fractures grow. The growing of the fractures, however, can be measured because the water pressure is temporarily lost when the fracture becomes bigger. The fracturing is influenced by a lot of parameters, such as pressure, viscosity of the injected liquids, and obviously the density and porosity of the soil layer. With the computer program Dawn from the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the Eindhoven University of Technology, it is now possible to predict how the fracturing will develop. It is of major importance to ensure that the fracturing proceeds in the most efficient and safe way. In certain cases, it is the aim to use existing cracks, whilst in other cases, it is imperative to stay away from an existing fault in order to avoid earthquakes, for example. Dawn is a finite element code that divides the soil layer into little segments, thus creating a grid. The layer is represented by a large number of elements that model the deformation of the rock formation, as well as the flow of fluids. The smaller these elements, the more accurate the predictions. Complex crack formation and propagation can be modeled irrespective of the structure of the mesh. How fast and in which direction the fracture will grow can be assessed on the basis of the stress conditions, the structure of the soil layer, the pressure and the viscosity of the liquid. By assembling all the segments, one can finally predict how the fracturing will develop deep down in the soil. By adapting the injection parameters, it is even possible to guide the crack propagation into the right direction. With the help of Dawn, we are able to understand the crack growth better, so that hydraulic stimulation can not only be applied for extracting minerals, but also enables us to safely store substances underground, such as CO2 for instance. It could also be used for geothermal energy, in other words, using the Earth's heat. Humankind needs the Earth and nature, and we are now more than ever aware of the fact that we have to preserve our planet. Science helps us to better understand the Earth and teaches us how processes unfold. Dawn makes us better understand this process.